Andyoufilms takes home Best Comedy at the MIF, a spotlight on the one and only Roderick, and all of the details you need to know about this year's Spooky Empire. All of that and more is coming up.
Who makes the greatest videos around? And you, it's andyoufilms.
Hey guys, I'm Aléa with andyoufilms, and this is the news and you, sponsored by your merchandise purchases on Teespring. Last weekend we had an amazing time at the Melbourne Independent Filmmakers Festival, better known as the MIF. We were fortunate enough to compete with our parody anthology Mashup Madness, which includes Ranger Things, Chucky's Cheese, A Farty Place, The Texas Chainsaw Mistletoe, and Thanalton. There were so many phenomenal films at the fest, we were just honored to be a part of it. But to our surprise, we were awarded with Best Comedy and Best Production Design. But the real shocker was that director Brendan Jackson Rogers was honored with the Rising Star Award for acting for his superb work in A Farty Place. If you haven't checked out Brendan's award-winning performance, you should definitely check out A Farty Place in our Parody Shorts playlist. A huge congratulations to the cast, crew, and Brendan. No one farts better than you. Also, a huge thank you to the Melbourne Independent Filmmakers Festival for another great year of films. We certainly hope to be back next year. If you missed us at the MIF, you should totally join us for one of our favorite conventions, Spooky Empire. This year's Spooky is held in Tampa, Florida at the Tampa Convention Center next weekend. We'll be at the con on Friday and Saturday hosting a number of panels, including our very own andyoufilms block, where you'll be able to meet us and enjoy a number of our parodies. So if you're heading to Spooky Empire next weekend, there'll be multiple chances to meet us. Greg may make an appearance as well. I know he loves hanging out at Spooky. We hope to see you there. Now it's time for our And You Spotlight. This week we shine the spotlight on the amazing actor that plays the one and only Roderick, Ryan Forrestall. As the Predator, what are the challenges that you face when you play Roderick?
Well, we've talked about it before, but when you're performing in a mask and you don't have any visibility, you have one of your major senses is taken away, and then you have to kind of feel around. So, kind of like you do, just get a sense of your environment as much as possible, and then you just put your mask on and let the direction kind of give you what your guidance is that you need.
I remember in Diary of Wimpy Alien 2, Greg and Roderick running into each other. So it's two masked characters running into each other blind, and I don't even know how we got that shot off. Do you remember?
I do. I remember it well because it was one of the easily the most scary, because if you look at us, I mean, obviously, if we run right at each other and we don't stop in time,
I'm going down for the count.
So you really do. You count your steps. You say, okay, I can take 3 strides to get to the spot where I know I'm going to meet you, and then you just have to trust that you don't go past those 3 strides, or I'm probably going to plow into you, and then you just hope everyone else would stop it before it would happen. But yeah, that was definitely a tense scene. I remember that. There was a few of them because I had to fight like 6 of you.
You're one of the few actors that's been with the Diary of Wimpy Alien series pretty much from the beginning. So where would you like to see Roderick's character go?
President of the world. I think if you just make my character president of the world.
I think Roderick would say that.
A whole episode just surrounding him getting everything that he wants.
Sweet.
Of course, you can check out Ryan as Roderick in the Wimpy Alien episodes, but you can also see his face in Wimpy Alien 2, Wimpy Alien 4, and Thor Ragnarok. But now it's time for Ask Us Anything. This is your chance to ask us anything, and these questions come directly from the news and you comment section. Your first question comes from Ango Calweir. When are you going to make Diary of a Wimpy Alien Season 2?
We don't have an exact start date for Diary of Wimpy Alien Season 2, but we are hard at work on various storylines and pre-production for that season. In the meantime, you can expect a whole onslaught of Greg Responds episodes, as well as some Point 5 adventures in the future. Stay tuned.
Your next question comes from Puppet Master. Are you guys gonna make Rowley an alien?
We're not sure exactly what the future holds for Rowley and Diary of a Wimpy Alien, but we like to parody a lot of different things and bring in a lot of elements to the series, so you can rest assured that when something interesting does happen to him, it'll be something you haven't seen before. There's a lot of horror and sci-fi icons out there that we haven't touched on yet, so let us know what you'd like to see Rowley get mixed up with in the future.
Your last question comes from Marcus Honeyborn. How was Manny a pred alien? Because Roderick would have been adopted because of Greg's face huggers on the original, and it takes a couple of hours for a xenomorph to grow fully.
We'd love to further explore the origin story of Greg, Manny, and Roderick someday, and maybe find out how they ended up with human parents. Maybe in a feature-length episode of Wimpy Alien? Who knows? But for now, I think it's safe to assume that some form of adoption did occur, and they were probably each adopted separately. As far as their specific biologies go, remember that the Cybermorph found out in episode 10 that Greg had been altered in some way, so Greg, Manny, and Roderick might be a little different than the aliens and predators you're familiar with. For sci-fi reasons, but more importantly for fun comedy reasons.
Thanks, guys. If you have a question that you'd like to ask Brendan, Will, or myself, please ask in the comments below. If we didn't get to your question this week, we'll make sure to get to it in future news and you episodes. Again, next weekend we'll be heading to Spooky Empire, and we certainly hope we get the chance to meet you. Plus, we'll make sure to put you in the Spooky Empire edition of the news and you. And if you missed it last week, you can catch Greg respond to a number of your comments in the latest episode of Greg Responds. You can check that out in the Greg Responds playlist. You can also keep up to date with us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. And for watching the news and you can get 10% off your next Teespring purchase by entering the promo code NEWSANDYOU. When you purchase merch from our store, you not only get something really cool, but you personally help fund the next Wimpy Alien episode. All of the revenue from Teespring goes right back to making more videos for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for your support. I'm Aléa, and remember, we wouldn't be And You without you.
The News and You was not filmed before a live audience at the And You Studios in DeLand, Florida.
Who makes the greatest videos around? And you. It's and you.